last year, 2019, started off with New Japan Cup, and it looked like it was going to be the year of Seiya Sanada. He won. He got to the finals of the New Japan Cup, losing barely to Okada after beating Tanahashi in the semifinal. After the New Japan Cup, I'm sorry, after G1 Supercard, he got the very first title match against Okada because he had done so well in the match against him, and again nearly upset Okada to win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And then the G1, he had a terrible G1, but he did finally get a pinfall over Okada, and again got another title match, and again lost to Okada. So I think it's like 0-7 now in title matches against Kazuchika Okada. Fast forward to this year's New Japan Cup, and surely this was going to be the year for Sonata, right? No, sadly not. Um, Not only did he not win the New Japan Cup, but I would argue that he didn't even have a great showing in the New Japan Cup other than one match. It was just he did not get a good he did not get a good draw of opponents in my opinion. So instead, his former tag team partner Evil is your yes I said Evil, the guy that's the gatekeeper, the guy I said last week was the same guy as Goto, is your New Japan Cup winner and is challenging uh, Naito for the World Heavyweight Championship at Dominion. And honestly, I couldn't be less excited about it.
Oh, see, I'm more excited about it.
And I don't get it. I don't get why you're excited about it. It makes he's still evil no matter which faction he joined, no matter he's behind him. He's still the same boring old evil.
See, I've always, I guess I feel differently. I've enjoyed Evil throughout the years. He's always been kind of my, backseat to Sonata, but I've always enjoyed him. And we did talk about this, um, geez, almost a year ago when we were talking about somebody taking over for Naito because Naito needed to go, and we were kind of saying it should be Evil that should take over for him. I as far as Sonata's matches go, I didn't think he had a terrible tournament. I mean he did kind of get a tough draw, but his match against Yo was fun, or was it Show?
No show.
His match against Show was fun. His match against Evil was
Terrible.
okay. I mean, I wouldn't say terrible.
I would. I would. He got like 5% of the offense in that match.
Right, but that was more about the story that they were going with Evil than it was about Sonata. That was a way to make Evil look, well, evil.
My point was there was only one match that Sonata got to actually show how good that he was Sonata. The match against Taguchi was mediocre at best. The match against Tai Chi is just not a good match for Sonata. And then
No, because Tai Chi is not a good match for anybody.
and then Evil, just basically dominated Sonata in that match in a match where I don't think Evil should ever dominate Sonata. Now, I just want to make it clear, like I don't feel about Evil that I do like I do about um like I can't think of his name
Tai
now.
Chi,
Like
Sean
yeah,
Spears.
Sean Spears, Mike Bennett, Daga. I think Evil has a lot of talent. I just don't see that he's. I just like you and I have talked like ad nauseum about like the American Wolves and about how like one guy has all the talent and one guy has the crowd support. Well, with Evil and Sonata, one guy has
It
both.
was Sonata.
One
Yeah, it
guy has
was
both of
Sonata
them.
with both.
So so
No,
it
I
so
I'm not gonna.
it's just so weird that somehow Evil is the guy that gets the main event. Not only a main event world title shot, but a main event world title shot at the second biggest show of the year. So
Against his and guys, we haven't watched Dominion yet. The English uh version of it didn't actually drop until this morning, so we haven't gotten a chance to watch it, so you're not going to get any Dominion talk until next week. I am looking forward to it. I looked over the card for Dominion. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to watch it. um,
that's my other problem with it is not only did, in my opinion, well, neither one of the semifinals went the way I wanted it to go, but also the two guys that lost are in the second match on the card in the 6-man tag. That means nothing. It's like
well,
there's, I mean, not even Takahashi gets a good match at Dominion. So
Does he have a match at Dominion?
Yeah, he's in that same six-man tag as Sonata. That's what I'm
But
saying.
he doesn't have his own. He's not defending the title,
Right,
huh?
right, right. He's the junior heavyweight champion, and he's not defending the title, which is
See, and that's this year's Dominion feels more like a Road to show than than an actual Dominion, which is weird because Dominion and Wrestle Kingdom are their two main shows, and they're the ones that there's always matches with meaning on them. All the belts are defended. There's always something to grind into on every single match. This time it feels more like a Road to show where we're getting the first 3 or 4 matches are just, our typical 6 and 8 man tag matches. And then we actually get the meat of it in the second half.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel too.
But in a way too, it's hard to really fault them for that since half their company is not there. They can't have any of the Ring of Honor guys over there. People like Osprey had left to go back to England, and he's not allowed in the country yet because of the COVID and everything. So I'm giving him a pass on that.
Well, yeah, I am too. But I mean, I still feel like there's certain things they could have done. Like they could have had, for instance, they could have had like a challenger like Yo could be challenging Takahashi, just so there's at least a title match on the show.
Well, or Bushi. I mean, just why not have all of LIJ implode? They could have had Bushi challenge him. They had other options to put an actual title match in, but I think they didn't want to do it without stories. They did a good job of building up the tag team. And
the
Never throughout the New Japan Cup, but there really wasn't the story. My only misstep, the only misstep that I felt in the New Japan Cup was not having Takahashi beat Okada. I think it would have done great things for Takahashi. First of all, put him on that level, the level that we feel like he damn near got there. His match against Ishii was. I was in tears at one point because I was afraid Ishii was going to kill him with those chops. But he persevered, and he showed up, and he put on match after match after match. His match against Okada was really, really strong. I would have rather seen him go over Okada, make it to the semis, because it would have put him more on the map than he already is. But it also would have made the story that's going on with Evil and has been going on throughout this entire tournament. And to be honest, since the middle of last year, when he was threatening his split from LIJ and starting to show signs of his old former self, and how he was talking about how he was going to leave LIJ and all that stuff. So I think for him the way he went over Sonata was the first stroke. I think having a similar match with Takahashi going over, and then this match with Naito, I think would have cemented him in this new role and where he's going. I mean, he's clearly done with LIJ.
No, I agree with that, but at the same time, him beating Okada means a lot more than him beating Takahashi would, and just in terms of his stature in the company.
Yeah, and I mean you're right there too. By him defeating Okada, that put him on a. Now we're looking at him versus Naito as, oh my God, this is a match.
Right.
Where if he had just beat Takahashi, then there would have been all the doubts and, oh, does he deserve to be there? The Okada match. First of all, did you count how many times dude said hi?
I did not. No.
I swear to God, he said that 300 times during that match. A half-hour match, he had to have said hi at least 300
times.
What
I said, and that's what I said before. Like that's one reason I have so much trouble watching the Japanese commentaries. I feel like somebody's saying hi to me 100,000 times. I just want to keep saying hi back to him. Like, hi, yeah, you said it already. So.
But and then the fact that they
and guys, we know hi means yes in Japanese. It's just
yes. Yeah, it was, but it was the amount of times he said it. It was like, and I loved, there was one little bit where I think it was Shibata that was kind of going off on a little tangent, not really, just talking. And whoever the lead announcer is, and forgive me for not knowing, but he kept saying hi, but he kept differentiating it, like different inflection. He'd whisper it, he'd say it higher, he'd pronounce it with like enthusiasm, then he'd be like a question mark one. It was really. Honestly, it was really entertaining to listen to. I enjoyed that little segment.
You said that the one misstep was Takahashi losing to Okada, but I'm still going to stick with the fact that Sonata losing to Evil, and not only losing to Evil, but getting completely dominated by Evil is a huge misstep.
I think the
And
problem. I
and
think
no, stop interrupting me. I didn't interrupt you when you were going on your stupid rant. I would be like even more like angry if we were doing this Friday night after I watched what happened. But of course I had time to consider it. I had time to think about the fact that New Japan does long term booking. This is all in service of the story. I just hope that it really is long term booking for Sonata. He really does get his spot at some point because yeah, he's had lots of title matches, but he's never had one on a big stage like Evil's getting. He's never gotten a huge victory in a major tournament like Evil just got. Um, and I really want this to work out to somewhere where we have a big match between the two of them and it actually means something, not just a grudge match, but like the Intercontinental titles on the line, or it's the finals of the New Japan Cup next year, or it's the finals of the G1 next year. Sometime a spot where Sonata gets his revenge over Evil, and it's in a big spot where it actually means something. That's what I want. Now that they've done this. Okay, you can talk now.
I don't know if Sonata's time has passed.
It better
I
not
mean,
have. Not if they're gonna give Evil time, they better not be passing Sonata by because
well,
Sonata
Sonata,
is 1,800 times as talented. Well, not that much, but he's at least twice as talented as Evil is.
but he's also had 3 straight years of runs. This is really Evil's first shot.
Evil already has a major singles championship in NJPW, and Sonata's never gotten that.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying that this is really, I mean, if you look over the last 3, 4 years, Sonata has been the glowing part of pretty much every tournament he's been in. I mean, his strong performances in New Japan Cup, and then his, World Tag League performances, and just he's had his title shots. He's had his. I'm not saying I think that they're on a longer stage, kind of like they were with Naito, where Naito was kind of in that holding pattern for a while. But I would not be surprised to see Sonata take a step back. His lot and
you know how unhappy that's going to make.
No, I know. I understand. But you look at it, even Kevin Kelly said it. Sonata has not had a good singles match since G1 last year. You know,
He had not won a singles match since she won last year.
and he said he would, well, I mean, yeah, true.
Um, and really, I really wish that we had been able to see the Eagles commentary on this New Japan Cup final, and I really hope that Kevin, does maybe says like what Evil said after the show on Dominion, because I really don't understand the point of leaving Lij to become at least the third highest member of Bullet Club, because he's not going to be higher than Jay White, he's not going to be higher than Kenta, so it just doesn't really make any sense to leave basically the same spot in Lij for the same spot in Bullet Club.
Well, and I guess I didn't hear is when we weren't going to have Chris, whatever that guy's last name is, doing the translation. I didn't even stick around for the post match, but that was one thing I wanted to bring up. Why was Bullet Club? I mean, is he going to be a member of Bullet Club, or was Bullet Club just out there fucking with Okada because that's what they do? It didn't
He was giving
make a lot of sense.
the Bullet Club symbol.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, did you not see you didn't stay for the post match at all?
No, it was pointless. I didn't want to listen to Evil, do his promo, and it looked like there was 20 minutes left of the to do his promo, and
Oh yeah,
not be able to understand it what he was saying. I figured I'd just wait until Dominion, and hopefully they would show a replay or something so we could actually, because otherwise it's just like,
well, what you missed, sir, was that um, Naito came down to is that Evil called Naito down. Naito came down to celebrate with him, put his fist up in the air like he always does for his teammates. Evil like thought about it, walked over, put his fist up, but then he put it over Naito's fist and he showed the Bullet Club sign and hit him with everything is evil.
oh,
And then the rest of the Bullet Club that was in the building, Jado, uh, Jado, Gato, Takahashi, and Ishimori came down and they were stomping Naito before LIJ came down and made the save.
Well, now I understand why you're not as pumped about seeing Dominion, that main event at Dominion, as I kind of was, because I was pumped about seeing it, watching Lij implode, and seeing where they go from this. Because the one thing about Lij in the past is they fight each other and they get up and they shake hands afterwards and they're good. And this was a different thing with Evil this year, and I wanted to see how it played out. But if he's joined Bullet Club, then it takes away a lot of the enjoyment for, because I'm not looking at this Evil thing as he's a great wrestler, he deserves a shot, all that. I do think that, there were other people in this tournament that deserved it more, but I was viewing this more as a storyline creation, more of a storyline win than anything, and the payoff was going to come at Dominion. But if the payoff already happened, I don't know how much interest I have anymore.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is the payoff already happened. Like, I was interested too, like, and I totally understand, because I was interested, like after the semifinals. I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen? Like, is Lij going to side with Evil, and now Sonata's out, and maybe he'll be joining Chaos or something? Or, is this like is Evil going evil? And will he? And then where does that leave him with Lij? That kind of thing. Um,
Or
but
is
but
or is
but
this a
yeah,
passing of the guard?
but yeah, they've already he's already joined Bullet Club.
Wow,
So
I have a whole lot less interest in this match now. Like, seriously, I mean, I get where you're coming from with Evil. He's not, he's talented. His entrance and that entrance music is still some of the best I've ever seen. He's got a good character, but he's kind of bland with his character. He wrestles similar style match to pretty much everybody else separates him.
Well, in the last couple matches, it was wrestling a similar match to a guy I can't stand watching his matches anymore, and that's Suzuki. So that's
Yeah.
another reason where where my interest level is kind of like, if he's going to be wrestling like that, it's not it's not something I can really get behind. So
Yeah, I mean, it was more of it's just a low blow, and he's not overly flashy. He's solid. He's a good wrestler. I'm not taking that away from him. He's just not that's not the spot. What was getting me excited about his run and his New Japan Cup win and main eventing Dominion against Naito was the story they were telling, and the payoff should have came in the main event. When I watched this and I saw Takahashi and Gato come out, when I saw Takahashi and Gato come out, I was like, okay, is this, what are they doing? Are they siding with Evil simply because, he's going up against their hated rival in Okada? There were so many more questions.
Right, and that's another reason why it made sense for it not to be Takahashi in that match, for it to be Okada, because then it gave you a little bit more like
I
gray
can't take
area.
it out. Ooh.
Like, that's why I gave it like a bit more gray area. Like, why are these guys interfering? Is it because they hate Okada so much?
Yeah, and I mean that's what when I was watching it. That's what I was feeling, was that it was just they hated. I was going with they hate Okada.
Yep.
Not that there's recruiting Evil.
Yeah. Well, they were recruiting Evil.
Well, that kind of sucks.
And I'm sure there's gonna be like like a lot of stuff about, like, during the quarantine period they had time to recruit him. They got in his ear and all that kind of stuff too. But it's still yeah, like, I'm not really, again, I'm not, I'm not fond of it, because, like, yeah, and I think, like you said, like, it would, if the payoff had come at Dominion, it would probably be, I'd probably be more excited just to see what was going to happen within LAJ. But I really don't think that the third
Arlo.
the third highest member of Bullet Club is going to win the world championship from Naito.
Well, even if he does, where does that leave Jay White? Where does that leave Kenta? These are the two guys that were going after that. And now all of a sudden, Evil comes over to Bullet Club, wins titles, and then he's not going to be the third. Granted, it's Jay White's Bullet Club, but
Well,
I don't think I've ever
I
seen
guess
a faction where there's been able to be another member other than the leader that's the heavyweight title holder.
well, it did happen in Bullet Club previously when the actual leader was Machine Gun Carl Anderson, but the world champion contender or the world champion was AJ Styles. So
Yeah, but I thought they had made him. I thought they made AJ the leader by
no,
that point.
no, no. It went from Devitt to Anderson. AJ was never the actual leader of Bullet Club.
Oh, okay.
So, um, and I guess where it does make sense is that
Arlo.
the all of the almost all of the Bullet Club you know main talent is not able to come in the country right now. And who knows when that's going to be able to when things are going to open up when they're going to be able to come in. So they need somebody kind of more high profile at the top of them than like Takahashi or Ishimori or so they at least have some representative like in the upper levels of the company because Jay White's stuck in um, New Zealand and Kenta and um, God are in Florida and I
I didn't
assume
know Kento was in Florida.
yeah, that's where he lives.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I suppose he spent so long in NXT. That makes sense.
Yeah, and they were already overseas here to do that anniversary show for in Ring of Honor and get ready for Supercard of Honor.
Right.
So so they were already over here in the states and they just got stuck over here. So and I think that Bad Luck Fale is probably in New Zealand or he's in from New Zealand too, right? Yeah.
Who care? Who cares where he's at?
But my point is,
He's not on my screen. That's all I care
but
about.
you get my point.
Right.
They needed to have
Yeah.
they needed to have a somebody in Bullet Club that would that would kind of like matter, and I think that's where that's why putting the tribute on Evil makes sense in that sense. But I really don't see him winning the title from Naito. Whereas if he was still in LIJ, there's a little bit more intrigue there. I think.
Well, like I said, now that we've seen the payoff, I've lost interest. I mean, I want to. Of course, I'm going to watch it because
It's
I
Dominion,
just
it's New Japan, yeah.
and it's a title match, so I'm going to watch it regardless. But my interest level went from a 99. Like I was fighting myself today to not watch it because I didn't want to be ahead of you and know something that you didn't.
Hmm.
So I literally fought myself all day long to keep from watching it. That's how excited I was. And literally, when you said we got the payoff on Friday night, my interest level just completely plummeted. Like I that was the whole reason I was getting behind the Evil story was because of the story and waiting for that eventual payoff.
Well, now you can go back and watch Friday and see the payoff.
Ugh.
No, I kind of forgot that usually shut the show off before seeing the. You need to stop doing that because I think you did the same thing at Wrestle Kingdom and missed that Kenta came down.
Yeah, I did. And well, the thing is I mean, Wrestle Kingdom, I was just so fucking tired, and the fact that I had to watch it after you guys because the my internet didn't work, so I wasn't able to watch it that night. I was locked out for some reason, couldn't get back in. So I didn't, if I'd watched it live with you guys, I probably would have seen that. But
Yeah,
typically, I mean, there's so few things that really ever happen. It's usually just cutting a promo on someone, and then his opponent comes down, and that's that. And then when the interpreter wasn't going to be there, I was just like, no, I'm not going to sit here and watch 20 minutes of Evil talking in Japanese and not be able to understand anything he's saying.
gotcha. Yeah, I can understand that. I just yeah, I'm it's too bad you missed it because I was that we did get the payoff there, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It happened, and I guess we'll have to see how Evil does in Bullet Club, and maybe he will win the world title. Maybe he'll become the leader just because nobody else is around to be the leader. Who the hell knows? So,
That would make sense. I mean, all the scenarios that were going through my mind, like, is Sonata going to get kicked out? Is everybody else going to rally behind Evil and turn back to them, what they used to be is they used to be badass villains.
will there
And
will there will there be LIJ Hollywood and LIJ Wolfpack?
Yeah. No. I mean, they used to be villains. They just started getting cheered because they were like DX. They were the cool villains.
Yeah.
But they were a villain stable forever.
Why do you
And
have to keep doing this, Rhaegar? Jesus.
the fact that they so there was those questions. Are they going to go back to being a villain stable? Are they going, is Naito going to get booted and Evil going to be the leader? Is Sonata going to get booted? There were so many different questions that were there, and that just totally got ruined. That it literally just got ruined by him joining Bullet Club.
Yeah. Well, it did. So I don't know.
The
I don't know. It happened. So.
the funny thing is Evil's personality fits better with Suzuki Gun than Bullet Club.
Yeah, that's very true. And if it's better with LYG than either of the other two.
Well, true, yeah, true. So I don't know, that kind of that frustrates me a little bit.
Well,
Definitely frustrates me.
should have kept watching.
No, because then I would have been really frustrated, and I would have been frustrated for longer. But no, seriously, I fought myself all day long to not watch Dominion because I was looking so forward to that payoff. I felt like they did such a great job of changing his direction throughout the course of the tournament, where he got more and more evil as the tournament went on. His opening match, he was the good guy that we've come to know and love over the last couple of years, and then his match against Goto, he was the good guy up until that very end when it was kind of questionable. And then against Sonata, it was just like, okay, that's not questionable anymore. That he's an asshole now. And then against Okada, it was just nonstop, the new evil. So it was really a cool build the way that they did it, where they gave us just a little bit more every single match. But his basically his turn against Sonata is what cemented him as being this evil prick, and then to see where things were going to go from that was what I was invested in.
Yeah, and the story, and you were able to see the story, whereas I, being such a big Sonata guy, was able just to be pissed off about it. So
Yeah,
and,
well,
not just pissed off because it was not just pissed off because wasn't Sonata, but pissed off because it was evil. Like, this guy, really, this guy. So
yeah, I think I see that. I can see that. I mean, it's like I said, he's when we've talked about the tag teams before, but you're right. Sonata had not only the athletic and wrestling prowess, he also had the crowd behind him.
yeah, and
Where
I'm sure he still will, and maybe and that makes sense to turn evil when he was the one that was getting that crowd pop. But at the same time, it also gets rid of one of the great tag teams in JPW,
they might as well
and I just wonder like what they're going to do with Sonata from now on.
they might as well just get rid of the tag belts completely. There's no junior heavyweights anymore. I mean, they threw together uh, Lij, or not Lij, Suzuki Gun, that held it for what, a year. Then they threw together a team from Bullet Club that held it for a while. But outside of Roppongi 3K, which kind of looked to me like they were going their separate ways into singles because of this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then the heavyweight.
They should have gotten rid of the junior tag titles years ago.
Well, even the heavyweight title belts outside of God, who is there?
There's Golden Ace and there's Dangerous Tekka right now.
Right. But they're throwing together top level stars to make tag teams. There's no true tag teams. After KES left, there's, other than God, there's no real true tag teams.
Right, but there's also the thing that there can only be so many guys, at the top of the card in the singles too. So it gives the tag titles give them something to do. I mean, do I wish it was different? Yes, but I wouldn't say they should get rid of both sets of tag titles. I just think that they should only have one tag title division.
The other thing I really hope is that this isn't for both titles. I hope they split up that title thing again.
It's for both titles.
I hate that, because eventually they're going to have to split them up.
I know they need to figure that out at some point.
They needed to figure that out right away. Like right after he won the belt, his match against Kenta should have been for the Intercontinental belt, or the belt of their choosing, not the belt of Naito's choosing which one he wanted to defend.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that they need to figure it out at some point because they can't just keep doing this.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying now that they didn't do that, they need to figure out something at some point where it's going to make sense for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. True.
I mean,
True.
unless they're just going to give Naito the option and say, give that Naito the option of giving just giving the titles to Sonata and then saying, here, Sonata, now that I took care of him, you take care of him too. Something like that. I
Yeah.
really don't, but I mean, I don't see them doing that either. So I mean, and I really think that if they're going to have him defending both belts, it should be like Jay Lethal did, where he was defending the belt in two separate matches each card.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It shouldn't be an all or nothing match.
Right. That's how I feel about it. So
Because the more you do that too, like let's say Naito does lose to Evil. Now Naito being that super pinnacle as being not only the first ever, but being the first ever double champion and really being something special. If Evil does win it and takes both belts, all of a sudden what Naito did isn't as special.
no, it's not. And what they should be doing is having him, if he's not going to be defending the title twice on each title twice like on each title once on cards, they should have him be defending Intercontinental title on one show, the world title on another show, things like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because then he can set the same kind of like heavy pace that Okada did as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion for that like 23-month reign that he had, and but that can be like a good reason why he loses one of them, just because the pace was so high for him.
Right. How long did he hold the IC belt?
Who?
Naito.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm trying to
He's
think.
held it 4 times now, right?
Yeah, and did he hold it all last year?
Um, a lot of last year. I don't know if it was all of last year.
Well, I can't remember. Did Coda win it at some point?
Yeah, Coda held it at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
I couldn't remember if that was last year or the year before.
It was last year.
It feels like it last year was 5 years ago, to be honest. And
It does.
Dominion also, the other thing too is that Dominion does kind of seem like where they're going to crown a new champ. Because it's been what, 3-4 straight years where Dominion has seen a title change?
No, the only title change in Dominion the last several years was when Kenny beat Okada for it.
Yeah, but didn't uh, Okada beat Jay White for it last year at Dominion?
No, Okada was world champion going into Dominion last year, and he defended
I
against
thought
Chris Jericho.
that was Dominion. I thought that was the.
It was Dominion.
Uh,
The last time the world title changed hands at Dominion that Okada didn't lose it was when he beat Naito for it, and that was 2016.
okay. I don't know why. For some reason, I felt like Okada beat Jay White for it last year at Dominion.
No, he beat Jay White at G1 Supercard.
The Madison Square Garden one.
Yeah.
I thought that was Tanahashi versus because Okada.
Was it? Wait, was it? No. No.
I'm lost.
That,
I don't remember. Anyway.
no. I don't remember who Tanahashi faced at G1 Supercard, but it was not Okada. Okada beat Jay White in Madison Square Garden. That was White's first and only defense of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, which sucks that he's not even sniffing the belt again anytime soon.
Well, he needs to sniff the country first.
True. And who knows? Maybe if Evil does win it, then when White does come back, they can battle over it.
Yeah.
For
Why not?
control of Bullet Club.
Well, I don't really know if it'd be for control of Bullet Club unless you're saying that one is going to keep control and the other one is just going to stay in there, because I don't think that Evil has it. Even either Evil or White is in place to go if they're not in Bullet Club, because the whole thing is the whole organization is factions.
Right.
So.
Well, they have a couple of people that are on their own.
Who?
Blue Justice. He's a one-man faction.
Okay, that's fair enough, I guess. But nobody in the modern, none of the really modern stars are not in a faction.
Yeah, that is true because you either come in, you're either Bullet Club or Chaos,
Yep.
unless you.
Yeah, and then even like the ones like Tanahashi are part of that Taguchi Japan. So
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I mean, Jesus, how many members do those two have?
who?
Bullet Club and Chaos. It seems like they've got everybody new that comes in joins one or the other, so they've got to have like 30 members each.
I have no idea. I don't keep track of that. But then you got then of course there's LIJ and Suzuki and Taguchi Japan. So
Well, and Suzuki Gun has been just decimated. I mean, they lost KES. Didn't somebody else leave too?
yeah, Iska left.
Oh yeah, that's right. He retired or whatever. I don't know. I think it's kind of sad, but this has kind of been a year-long story with Evil. You know, wanting to leave LIJ, wanting to go off on his own, wanting to do his own thing away from them. So it has kind of felt like it's been a year-long thing that it's been going on. But
Doesn't feel that way to me.
I am still really sad to see them break up, or to not have one of the members there.
I'm not because I felt like LIJ was getting too big. I feel like it works better as 4 or 5 than as 6. So
Yeah, and when Takahashi did come back, when he came back, but I would have rather seen Bushi leave.
oh, absolutely. The interesting thing is that Evil was 1/3 of the 6-man tag team champions. So it's
Oh
like,
shit!
so what are they going to do with that now?
Yeah, are they still going to defend it together? Because he's there with Bushi and Shingo, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought so.
That'll be fun to see how that plays out. At least, so at least there's something going to continue out of this.
Maybe they'll Freebird rule it.
Since there's 2/3 of them are in LIJ, the third member's got to be somebody else from LIJ.
Yeah, like Sonata or Naito or I guess Shingo. I guess who's the other one? Takahashi. Yeah. Come on, Rhaegar. Or just stand there watching the neighbor. It's fine.
Well, that's what you normally do. When you go out to pee, you just stand and watch the neighbor.
When I go out to pee, would I live in an outhouse?
I guess.
Well, I said live in an outhouse. I would not be living in an outhouse. Wow.
Yeah, that would be rather unpleasant.
Yes, I think it would be.
Okay, so I mean, you got anything else? I mean, I'm looking forward to the tag match, just because it's weird that I didn't even know they were tag champions, but I'm kind of looking forward to the tag match against what are they called now? Gishi or something?
Dangerous Tekka.
Dangerous Tekka. I don't like it. And of course, Sho is going to get his never against Shingo. So, that's three really solid matches right there. Well,
it is
2.5 now.
I just really wish that there was something more important for the and I know this happens in every card. Like there's guys that are stuck doing like these 6-man tags and stuff, but it just seems odd to me that these guys are in the semifinals of the New Japan Cup and now they're in the second match on the card in a 6-man tag.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you there, and like I said, it doesn't feel like a Dominion. It feels more like a Road 2 show than actually a Dominion.
It does.
But unfortunately, that's just what we got to roll with because of the current environment.
Yeah.
But I still think they probably could have pieced together some single matches. They could have done a little bit better job of some of the storytelling to actually make some matches make sense. Like with the way that essentially Bullet Club screwed Okada out of the finals, him against a member of Bullet Club would have made sense.
I think he's in a tag match against Bullet Club, isn't he?
Well, he's in the same match that Takahashi's in, right?
No,
So that's going to be Chaos against Lij.
no, he's not. It's him and somebody from Bullet Club teaming. I'm sorry, somebody
Chaos.
from Chaos teaming against Ishimori and Yujiro Takahashi. I'm pretty sure. So maybe it's him and Yoshihashi.
Well, Yoshi can't. Dude's hurt.
Oh, maybe it's him and Goto then.
Or Ishii.
No, Ishii's in the 6-man tag against Lij.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. They could have done some things. They could have done some different things. Like you said, they had um uh Bone Soldier. Ishimori is there. Yo is there. They could have found something for Takahashi to do. They could have found something, even if it was a regular tag match, like Ishii and Okada against another tag team, like a
Yeah,
legit tag team or something.
yeah, it's Goto and Okada against Ishimori and Yujiro Takahashi.
Maybe it's just there's really no talent other than Naito or Naito, Sonata, and Evil that are even on Okada's level.
And I don't know who this guy is, but because I was looked at him like Master Wato. Who the hell's Master Wato? But he's teaming up with Hiroshi Tenzan and Yuya Uemura to take on El Desperado, Kanemaru, and Doki in the third match on Dominion.
Well, they had a lot of Lij or a lot of the LA dojos guys were there. Like Gabriel Kidd was there. I think he's on the card somewhere too.
He is, but I don't know who Master Wato is. I've never seen him on anything that I'm aware of. And see, that's my other thing is like why are Takahashi, Sonata, and Bushi in the second match instead of the third match? Why did Despi, Kanemaru, and Doki get the and Tenzan and Master Wato get the third match? That's the other thing that just kind of bugs me. It's like, well, if they're not going to be in the opener, they're not going to be. Why are they in the second match, not the third match? It's just so dumb. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you got guys like Ishii, Yano, Takahashi, and Sonata in the second match on the card. It feels like they should be later on in the card. That's all.
Yeah, because those are actual like names.
Yeah, that's my point. That's exactly my point.
The other guys, the young lions, aren't. I mean, maybe they want them in the middle of the card for a reason, kind of bury them a little bit, or so that they don't stand out as much. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, I'm sure the card will be great. I'm sure at least the last 3 matches are going to be sensational, even if Evil is in a match for both.
The last 2.5 matches are going to be sensational.
Evil is in a match. I want to say this again. Evil is in the main event Dominion wrestling Naito for the double championship, the double gold. It just feels so wrong to me.
Well, I mean, isn't normally the New Japan Cup winner? Don't they face them at like the anniversary show or something?
Dontaku usually.
Yeah, so a lot of it's they're just throwing Dominion out there because it's their second biggest show. Like it doesn't feel like a Dominion,
but that's my exact point. Is that Evil does not feel like the right guy to be wrestling for the world title, the second biggest show of the year.
no.
So
I still would have rather seen Takahashi win the tournament and get that spot because they did such a good job of building him up too. And then also, they ran with the story about how he got cheated out of his one-on-one against Naito and all that stuff. It felt more like it was Takahashi's turn to win it.
Well, considering he's not defending the junior heavyweight championship anyway, I kind of agree with you.
And that, I mean, I think did I say that on this show or did I say it offline? I don't remember, but I remember saying that it just, the way they were building him up, the way that he was having the matches he was having, it just felt like it was his tournament and his time.
Oh, and how stupid is that Cobra Clutch now that Okada's using? I hate that.
Yeah, and the fact that he did it 17 times in that stupid match against Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, I got to a point where about the fourth one, I was like, seriously, come on. It's not working. Try something else. And then he would just put it on again and have another 3 minutes of rest.
And he puts it on so casually, too. It's like
hmm
he doesn't even like cinch it, and he just puts it in so casually, and nobody can counter the damn thing. It's just so dumb.
I will say this: I am much happier that at least he switched up. He's not using the Rainmaker so much anymore.
Yeah, but it's also not using heavy rain.
Now he should have been using Heavy Rain all along.
Agreed.
That Heavy Rain actually looks like what hurt somebody.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely him having the Rainmaker as a finisher led to some amazing counter wrestling. But
Right.
but heavy rain it definitely should be is a more devastating move to use as a finisher than a clothesline.
Well, it's kind of like Jericho. He goes from having the Code Breaker, which would look like a devastating, you couple knees to the face, looks like it's painful. He switches it to this spinning back fist or spinning back elbow or whatever it is. I think you're unplugged, dude.
Middle,
Shane, you there?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you must have got unplugged again.
Yeah, and I couldn't hear you because my dog was barking. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Anyway, anything else?
No, I got nothing. Next week, Dominion. Are we doing Fighter Fest tomorrow or Fight for the Fallen tomorrow?
I thought we were.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay.
So Fight for the Fallen tomorrow night. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, head over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Kingdom of Honor. We put up a brand new review of the 10th anniversary show from Ring of Honor. That's up right now. We did that one last night, and we also did a show yesterday where we reviewed the first 5 episodes of Warrior Nun. That's on our Patreon, and that is also on this YouTube channel. Feel free to head back, take a listen to that, listen to this, hit the like button, subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Then when you're done with that, head over to youtube.com/LOP Calvin and do the same thing. Hit the like button on this show, subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and then, of course, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at Regi Co-op. He is at ZanmanLOP, and use the hashtag DAD and the hashtag KOH. That's how you find us.
And like Jeff said, tomorrow night we'll be doing on Dynamite After Dark. We'll be talking about Fight for the Fallen, where the world title is being defended by Johnny Moxley against Khaleesi. It's just kids riding on a bike. It's okay. You don't need to bark at them. Against
Maybe he's just excited for Moxley.
Moxley will be defending the title against Brian Cage. On Thursday night is MCLOP Radio Adventure. This weekend will be more WWF Legacy Series. Then we'll be back with you next Tuesday with more Kingdom of Honor, talking about Dominion. That's all we've got. We'll try to do better next time. This is Shane saying long days, pleasant nights, and Jeff saying
Goodbye.